Hi, this is Denis Taaffe, and here is part 2 of the interview, 1999 interview with me. And the interviewer is Chuck Terrell. Chuck Terrell was a friend of mine and a filmmaker who was interested in helping me make an instructional VHS tape at the time. And part of that included an interview, so that's what you're seeing. Keep in mind that a lot of the soundtrack are actually old recordings of mine, alternate takes, unreleased tracks, that sort of thing. Going all the way back to about 1977, to give you an idea, all the way to the current. So here it is.
You recently put out a new debut CD. How did that come about?
Yes. I had always, just as part of my learning, I've recorded on, little 4-track cassette recorders. I made little demos and things, and I've gone through, I can count the number of little 4-track recorders, and I made a few songs from there. Sometimes no drums at all, no concepts of rhythm and those kinds of things. But eventually, for the CD, really that came about because digital recorders became affordable. Okay, and the second that happened, that really spawned my interest. And that's one dream that I had always had, and that I really thought was possible, but I was pretty discouraged that it's not possible. Was that basically with an 8-track recorder, okay, that basically one person, could record an album with an 8-track recorder. And, I calculated the number of tracks that I would need for drums, the number of tracks I would need for guitar, and those kinds of things. And so finally I did get a recorder, and I tried, recording a few things, and from there it just became an obsession, really. And at the time, from what I remember, there were not a lot of available. It was the 90s, and really, it almost seemed like good guitar playing took a back seat. At least compared to the 80s things. And really, I wanted to hear a guitar record, and they were kind of hard to find. There weren't that many. There were a few releases of that. And so I decided to make my own in that way.
I noticed that you played all of the instruments, recorded and mixed everything all yourself. Was that intentional?
Yeah, I would say it is. And I'll tell you why. One thing is, once I heard an album by Steve Vai, right? Perhaps maybe not one of his best albums, but it's one of my personal favorites. And what was really interesting about it was that it was basically recorded in his home studio. Same type of thing on an 8-track recorder. And I absolutely love it. In fact, I liked it a lot better than some of the larger bands, And he had pretty much played a lot of the instruments himself. And I liked it a lot better than some of his band recordings. Okay, and so basically when I did that, that really had me playing. Plus, the other thing is you can't really find that many players who are willing to play at 3 or 4 in the morning, And I can't count basically the endless hours at night that I would stay up recording, And then in the morning I'd be really tired, but at least I'd have 2 or 3 tracks completed.
How long did it take you to complete the album?
Well, I had probably one version of it done, I'd say probably in about 3 or 4 months, probably. Because I really took my time with it, and I really wanted to do things right, And the other thing is, at the time I knew nothing about production. I knew nothing about mastering, about mixing even, Basically, I bought the recorder, and from there, a lot of it was trial and error, that kind of thing. But through that process, I also discovered who I was as an artist, and what my style was starting to sound like. And probably from the time that it was sent to manufacturing and then released was probably 2 years. 2 years. And the 1 year was basically spent gathering money to have the CDs released.
What were you trying to achieve with this album?
Well, I tell you, one, the very first thing is I wanted to make a CD that I liked to listen to. That was probably the most important thing because I really wanted to hear a guitar CD. And I hadn't in a long time. And that was my goal, really, to make a guitar CD that I would enjoy. But more than that, I guess it was to start to develop my style. And I'm very pleased with the CD as my own debut CD, I guess. But I think there's a lot more that can be done, and I'm happy with the results. And it's been great as far as developing a style and starting to really hear what I'm developing.
The liner notes mentioned Echo Park Studios and others. Did you get help with your CD?
Yeah, I did. Not so much in the recording process or the mixing process. I did those on my own and played all the instruments on it. And got together with Mark Hood. It was on a Saturday morning. And basically, we went through all the material and basically pieced together an album from that. And he did the mastering for it. And we brought it up. Made it sound great. He did some great edits too. So that was really great. Then it was shipped over to Implosion Publishing in Florida. Right? And they manufactured it and released it. Cradle picks included a free cradle pick in each CD. So that was really nice to me. And then I also had an entertainment attorney doing the promotion.
Several endorsements with some music equipment manufacturers. Can you talk a little bit about those and how they came about?
Sure. Yeah, well, I endorse Jackson guitars. Definitely. Love those guitars. And in fact, one of the guitars I was playing, I think in 690 Roads, I used to play Jackson guitars also. Yeah, I was real happy. I basically sent Jackson a CD, they liked what they heard, and signed me up. I've been playing Jackson guitars. I used some of them to record. I also endorse Cradle guitar picks. There's a little Cradle. You can see that. It's a really unique pick. It's got angles on both sides. Right? It makes it really easy to hold. But that revolutionized my technique, and it gave me a lot of speed. I was able to play a lot faster and with a lot more control with it. And basically the Cradle pick really I think should be more well known, probably will be soon. And as I said before, they helped me with the CD, and they put a free pick in every CD, every one of my CDs. So, yeah, definitely worth trying. Then I also endorse Seymour Duncan pickups. I used the JD model, that's the Jetback model. Actually, very pleased with it. No problems at all. And it helps me to get that tone that I really like. And one last thing that I use is, and endorse, I guess, is Elixir strings. Right? And these strings have been great because I used to go through a pack of strings probably every 3 days, at least. If that. I guess when you beat on the strings enough, they break or they start to rust, and then they sound real bad. And these Elixir strings are a lot better. They've got this coating, and they last a long time. I can go probably 2 weeks, maybe sometimes 3 weeks. So those are my endorsements. And the way those came about is basically I sent them a CD, and people liked what they heard, and signed me up from there. And I had been using their products before then anyway.